press briefing for today, February 5, 2020, for the updates on the 2019 NCOV health event.
Ala ako sa inyo. Hello, okay. Good afternoon, everybody. We have quite a few updates today, and we'd like to welcome all of you and give you our report. No? The Department of Health would like to confirm that a sample from a 60-year-old female Chinese patient who under investigation, or PUI, tested positive for the novel coronavirus 2019 nCoV. So this is the third confirmed case of nCoV ARD in our country. The patient arrived in Cebu City from Wuhan, China via Hong Kong last January 20 and then went directly to Bohol thereafter. On January 22, the patient, upon arrival, the patient was not feeling well and stayed in the hotel and consulted on the 22nd, the patient consulted a private hospital. Wala. Hello? Okay ba? Better? Okay. Let's ulit na tayo. Take two.
Okay, roll.
Okay, so we'd like to give you updates on a few items today. No? First of all, the DOH confirms that a sample from a 60-year-old female Chinese patient under investigation tested positive for the novel coronavirus or 2019 nCoV. She's the third confirmed 2019 nCoV acute respiratory disease case in our country. The patient arrived in Cebu City from Wuhan via Hong Kong last January 2020 and then directly went to Bohol. On January 22, the patient consulted a private hospital in Bohol after experiencing fever and coryza. No? So may lagnat lang naman tsaka sipon. A sample taken from the patient was then admitted on January 22nd. Several samples were taken from the patient on January 23 and January 24. A sample taken from the patient last January 24 was tested at the Victorian Infectious Disease Reference Laboratory in Australia and the RITM here in the Philippines. So 2 tests were done, and the results from the said test from the sample from January 24 came back negative. The results arrived from Australia on January 29, and from RITM on January 30. And upon recovery, the patient was discharged and allowed to go home to China on January 31, 9 days after the first admission. However, on February 3, the DOH was notified by RITM that the earlier sample taken January 23, which was run after the test was established here in RITM, was positive for the 2019 nCoV, making her the third confirmed case of 2019 nCoV ARD in the Philippines. The Epidemiology Bureau has initiated contact tracing of persons who interacted with or those who were in close proximity to the patient, especially during the first leg of her trip before admission to the hospital. The Bureau of Quarantine and EB are coordinating with the concerned airlines, while the Central Visayas Center for Health Development is in coordination with the hotel where the patient stayed and the hospital where she was confined. On the PUIs, our persons under investigation, the DOH would like to report that as of 12 noon today, we have a cumulative total since the beginning of 133 PUIs for the 2019 nCoV ARD. Of the 133 PUIs, 115 are currently admitted and isolated, while 16 have been discharged under strict monitoring. And this will be uploaded and updated on the website, so you can check the distribution there. 115 are admitted, 16 have already been discharged. 115 admitted, 16 discharged. And of course, we have the 2 fatalities. Kaya may kulang ng dalawa. No? Among the PUIs, 63 are Filipinos, 54 are Chinese, and 16 from other nationalities. 32 of the total 133 reported to have traveled from Wuhan, China to the Philippines. 32. Yung iba kasi, yung mga Filipinos natin ngayon, most of them were travelers from Hong Kong before the ban, and of course the close contacts from the contact tracing. We would like, of course, to remind the public to still practice proper hand hygiene and cough etiquette, which is still the best way to protect yourself from the virus. We also have an update on the contact tracing for our positive case. As of today, the Epidemiology Bureau has assessed 203 contacts and home quarantined 188 of them. These are the patients who have no symptoms. Of the 203 contacts, 15 were noted to be symptomatic, merong lagnat or may nararamdaman na ubo or sipon. Doon sa 15 na yon, 14 were already isolated for monitoring. Yung isa, hindi pa natin na-admit at nagpapatulong pa tayo sa local government unit and the other government agencies. The DOH is currently working with other concerned agencies to expedite the contact tracing process. We're now working with PNP and other government agencies, including the LGUs, to help expedite our contact tracing. The DOH would like to urge passengers from Cebu Pacific Flight 5J241 from Hong Kong to Cebu, both on January 20 and January 21, 2020. Cebu Pacific Flight DG6519 from Cebu to Dumaguete on January 21, 2020, and Philippine Airlines Flight PR2542 from Dumaguete to Manila on January 25, 2020 to cooperate with DOH representatives who will be getting in touch with them for assessment. So yun yung tatlong flight na pinapakiusap namin kapag tinawagan kayo, or kung sila hindi pa natatawagan, maaari naman silang pumunta sa ating regional office, and they can contact us so that we may be able to assess them and check and monitor them. Thank you. Well, ang nangyari ngayon, after the hearing yesterday, first of all, nung una kasi natanggap natin yung list ng passengers from the airlines, kaya lang pangalan lang, walang contact information. But since late afternoon, they have also now shared with us the contact information, which has made it easier for us to contact itong mga nakasabay sa eroplano. And also, meron meeting kanina with the police, with the PNP and the other government agencies para nga magtutulong-tulungan at i-support nila yung Epidemiology Bureau. Kaya lang hindi ko pa alam yung results ng meeting nila. But we are now getting the help of the other agencies. Well, I think this is one of the considerations at this time, Pero wala pa tayong decision on that. Yeah. Nung time na yon kasi, we were still sending results to Australia, and we just had the new test here at the RITM. So they were getting the more clinically relevant na sample. So in this case, they tested the later sample of the patient. Tinanong ko sa RITM. Yun yung January 24 ang tinest nila. Tapos negative siya, both sa Australia at saka dito sa atin. And on 1 week naman yung pinalipas, January 31, before the patient was discharged. So the patient was actually negative upon testing on January 24. Kaya lang nung after na matapos na nila kasi mga test dito, they decided also to run all of the old samples that they had. And they found and one of her samples was from January 23. An earlier sample. This is an earlier sample. So apparently, ito yung naging positive. So the picture is that the patient was infected but was getting better. And nag-negative na siya on the 24th, and a week later siya na-discharge. Negative. Yes. So ngayon yung mga health workers and yung close contacts natin would include yung mga kasama sa eroplano, yung mga meron din mga flight attendant, I think flight crew, and then we have health workers and we have also I'm definite that we have health workers kasi dito sa San Lazaro we did some were classified as PUIs, and then of course yung mga nakasama sa hotel ng mga nag-positive na pasyente. Yan na ba? Si Jovic? They are appraised as soon as we get the results, we inform the embassies, not just the Chinese embassies, no, all of the embassies, because like I said, some of them are foreign nationals who happen to nag-travel sa China bago pumunta rito. So as a standard procedure, pag meron tayong naka-admit ang ng International Health Cooperation is to of course inform the embassy. I don't have that I don't have that information right now. Yung binigay lang kasi sa akin yung nCoV, positive or negative. There's no history of a pre-existing condition. Yes. That's exactly what the result is, no? On the 23rd, the earlier test, it was still positive. But on the 24th, sample taken from tested in RITM and Australia were both negative na. Yes, we know that in China now they also have documented, I think, about 400 cases na positive na nag-negative. In fact, we don't send home the patients until they are negative. So kasi may eliminate mo yung virus from your body as your immune system mounts defense against it. So unless it's completely eliminated from your body and it's negative, that's when you can send the patient home. At saka negative yung kanyang test. No, I think from Cebu to China. The patient left on January 31. Yeah. Yes, magko-contact tracing tayo, yung papunta dito. Kasi yung pauwi, negative na siya eh. Pero yung papunta dito nung January 20, that's why yung flight na Cebu Pacific from Hong Kong to Cebu na sinabi ko kanina na DG6519, we're asking passengers from January 20 and 21. 20 kasi itong si third case, 21 yung first and second case.
Sir Gerald, sa Bombo Radio po, may hotline numbers po ba kayo para dun sa mga concerned passengers po na pwedeng tawagan?
Well, we're setting this up right now. They're meeting right now and they will be posting it this afternoon dun sa yung natin, yung page na merong updates. At inire-ready lang ngayon, nagbi-meeting sila doon sa OPSEN natin. It will be posted.
Yeah. Also yung mic.
Update lang dun sa first infected.
Sorry.
Yung update lang dun sa first infected case natin, kamusta na siya and nag-double negative na ba siya? Kasi yan yata inaantay to.
Yung first case natin, wala na talaga siyang sakit for the past week. No fever, no cough, no colds. However, the latest test that was done, itong last 48 hours, was still positive, pero there are signs na yung viral load niya bumababa na. Kumukonti na yung virus, pero positive pa rin, so hindi pa rin natin siya pinapauwi. Still admitted.
Ma'am Aiko.
Basically, you're saying that their case was a recovery na.
Yes.
Ang ilang recovery to outside of China? Worldwide?
No, in China, I think, if I remember right, they had like 377.
Outside?
I'm not sure. We will have to report that to WHO for them to assess. Yeah.
Ma'am Aiko.
Yusek, there's a report already na pwedeng mag-spread po itong coronavirus because there's already a local transmission in Hong Kong, Thailand, Vietnam, and Singapore. Of course, in the Philippines, would you recommend po from the end part of DOH na magkaroon, like for example, temporary travel ban? And since meron na pong health workers na nakitaan po natin or already included in the PUIs?
Well, talagang I think it's now documented that there is human-to-human transmission. However, in the Philippines, all of the cases are now still imported. No? Wala pa tayong human-to-human transmission here. And we are very happy with the declaration of the President right now to ban temporarily all flights coming from China. Kasi at least ang binabantayan natin lahat ngayon, yung mga dumating before Sunday, no? At walang nadadagdag continuously. So we are very, very happy with that declaration, and it makes it easier for us to contain the cases and isolate them to make sure it doesn't propagate. At this time, there's no move to. Ang pinakamalaki lang kasi talaga yun, remember, more than 98% of these cases are still in China. So even in the countries where there's human-to-human transmission, so far it's still contained. Wala pa naman country na lumagpas, for example, ng 10 cases. No? So it might be premature.
Sir Rafi and Ma'am Tina.
Sir, what could be the possible explanation kung bakit hindi nagtugma yung results ng January 23 and 24? And because of that, are we seeing the possibility na baka mamaya kailangan nating i-retest yung mga iba pang samples from other PUIs?
Yes. Well, first of all, na-retest na lahat ng samples from other PUIs. So all of the samples that were taken before the test was validated and done here at RITM. Kasi dati sinasala natin, no? Hindi kasi lahat pwede nating padala sa Australia noon. May protocol ang WHO ng kung ilan lang ang pwede mong padala. So pinipili lang natin yung talagang mga very suspicious. But since then, we have tested all of them. And all of them have tested negative, except for this one. And their clinical explanation is that the patient was probably towards the end of the illness at that time. Kaya positive pa siya, pero yung the subsequent niya was negative na both at RITM and in Australia. So validated twice yung kanyang negative result.
Ma'am Tina.
Sir, any update on the cadaver that should be cremated?
The department has already made arrangements. No, I think the directive from the secretary was yesterday was to have the cremation done today. But I don't have the details yet if it was already completed.
It seems the family is against cremation.
No, they have already given the consent through the embassy.
So just in case in the future, ano ang dapat maging mas maigit?
The DOH has the mandate, no, that when you have an infectious disease of a public health concern, that you have to dispose of the body in a sanitary way. So meron tayong karapatan. Siyempre ayaw lang naman natin na, gusto pa rin naman natin may consent, no? But the DOH can do it without any consent.
So can you give us more details about the cremation? Where's the body now?
No, I cannot give you details on that. Yeah.
Janelle.
Ano? Meron na rin namang nag-arrange na pumayag.
Sir, dun sa PUIs, sir, ilan po dito sa 130 yung declared negative na? Ilan pa po yung pending?
Yung kasing yung pending, wala pa tayong nadagdag na declared negative from the last report. Meron darating na batch of results from our ITM, kaya lang iisa-isahin pa natin kasi mga iba, mga doble-doble. Halimbawa 450 yung papadala, some of them have 2 samples, 3 samples. So I have to double check it. We will update you on the negative status by tomorrow.
Tapos sir, after sa contact tracing, 15 are symptomatic, 14 isolated. Ano po nangyari sa isa?
15 yung symptomatic, no? Ito yung may sakit. Yung isa initially nagre-refuse. Oo, nagre-refuse magpa-admit. So nagpapatulong na kami sa LGU tsaka sa police.
Sir okay. Wait lang, Janelle.
Ay, meron pala sa gilid.
Any update doon po sa possible quarantine areas na meron sila?
Si Secretary is there right now. Ang directive sa kanya ni Presidente, kasi nag-cabinet meeting pa kagabi, is to take a look at the facility right now and make sure it's ready. No? In case we repatriate very soon.
So that's final, sir. Fourth final.
Yun talaga ang working natin. That's the working plan right now. Unless it changes very soon. But I think that's what we are planning right now.
Ilan po yun or meron pa ibang facility?
Sa ngayon yun muna. Meron pang iba kasi ng mga facilities na on the table that are being discussed. No? Merong island na facility, tapos meron pang iba tayong mga ano rin naman no, na pwedeng gamitin. Pero at least foremost, malaki kasi yung TRC. No? This was initially built for 10,000 people. And it's only being used yung ating rehab for 1,000 lang. Tapos may training center yung police for another 1,000. So, hindi naman ganun kadami yung i-repatriate natin eh. So, probably, it would be a lot easier if we keep them in one quarantine facility.
News 5 muna.
Well, hindi, kasi sa interagency task force yon, no? So, yung DFA, ang kasama natin at saka lead dun sa site sa China. And I cannot give you too much details on this. I'm not completely knowledgeable. But from what I understand is, of course, number one, we're going to arrange for a flight to come in and then pick them up. Yung crew, hindi naman sila bababa ng eroplano, kukuha lamang talaga ng ating mga pasahero. Ang DFA, ang nangihingi rin siyempre ng landing and take-off na permission from the Chinese government kasi naka-lockdown nga yung Wuhan eh. So kailangan natin ng special permit to come in and then to take out. And then when they come here, meron tayong crew ng Department of Health na napupunta rin sa China to assess them before they get here at may kasamang babalik. Pagdating, of course, the Bureau of Quarantine will be there also to assess them. They will not be passing through the regular Bureau of Quarantine area and the immigration area. We'll make special arrangements and then they will be transported to the quarantine facility.
Last 4 question, Ms. Trish, then Ma'am Sheila, Sir Michael, and then Ma'am Tina.
Sabi na, yeah, the medical personnel will be from the Department of Health. So I think that's why the Secretary is there right now and the other government agencies to discuss the operations. Pero yung medical personnel sa amin yun.
Ma'am Sheila.
Sandali lang ha. Yung health workers, hindi ko naman mabibigay sa kung nasaan sila. No? I mean, yung kanilang privacy. Merong halo-halo. No? But yung 15, ano to mga close contacts ito? Let me just check. Ha? I'm not, the EB is the hassle list right now. I'll get back to you on that.
Sir Miguel.
Are IBM notified DOH on February 3 about the third case?
Yes, yesterday.
Sure. Why did it take 2 days for the DOH to announce it to the public? Today is February 5.
Yeah, it was like they found out February evening of the February 3rd. And yesterday we were at the Senate, as you well know. The Secretary was at the Senate the whole day, and that's why hindi tayo nakapag-press con kahapon.
Sure, was there no sense of urgency announcement earlier given that there's case?
Oh, no, but the regional office already knows, and they started the contact tracing already yesterday. So it's just yung today lang kasi hindi tayo nagkaroon ng briefing kahapon. But I think the Secretary actually, I saw it online this morning so I think the Secretary actually announced it yesterday.
Sure, what's the process that the DOH follows in terms of announcing the first cases? Because for example, in the second case, we found out about it already on Saturday of February 1 and it was announced the next day, February 2. And in this case, you found out about it February 3 and it was announced on February 2. Could you walk us through why the...
No, this one, it was just really the intervening circumstance that the Secretary was at the Senate the whole day yesterday, plus the fact that, of course, that the patient was actually tested negative and was sent home, no? So, yung regional office naman namin, syempre, unang-una, before we announce it, we make sure that the regional office knows already and the local government unit also knows, no? Kasi magagawa tayo ng activity doon, ayaw naman nating magulat sila kung ano yung nangyayari. So the contact tracing was already done and the Secretary, I think, announced it after the Senate hearing last night. Kaya marami sa inyo tumatawag na kagabi. But we just had to formally announce it today because it's the first available opportunity for us.
You coordinated the information
Yes, we do. Oo.
Ma'am Tina, then last.
So yung 3 health workers dun sa 15, from the 15 dito, 3 were health workers. Health workers. They are stable. All of them are stable. May symptoms ba to? Fever, cough, and colds.
Sir, does the DOH have information on a 66-year-old Chinese from Wuhan na Pilipinas and then back to Wuhan tapos doon mo namatay?
That's a very particular, I cannot tell you now because we have a list of 133, no? So if you have any details, we can check it for you. Oo.
Sir, on the third case, are you at liberty to mention the hospital?
No, right now I don't have that information yet, no. But I think we will be announcing it.
Sir, last, on Magsaysay, can you give us a picture in last under isolation wards and all the repatriates are they in one room or in a room?
Like I said, it's a very, very big facility, no. It's for 10,000 people, and they found one. Nakita ko yung map na talagang nakahiwalay siya from the big, compound. There's one building that can house 1,000 people na nakahiwalay talaga siya. Separate siya from the other facilities. And kayang separate rooms doon, I'm pretty sure. Malaking-malaki talaga eh. I just saw the pictures but actually lang naman wala naman silang sakit eh. Ika-quarantine lang natin sila. So parang hotel facilities lang naman. Kasi yung may sakit, hindi naman doon pupunta. Isa hospital natin dadalhin. So this is more of like a hotel accommodation lang ang required natin with monitoring. Check lang natin everyday, may nurse tayo na mag-check tsaka doctors kung may nilalagnat.
Okay.
I don't have the exact number. Basta ang sabi sa lahat ng samples nila that were not sent to Australia have been tested.
Sir, what airline did the China stay going back to China?
Alam natin yung airline, Doktora, yung flight going back to China. It's also on Cebu Pacific then.
Is it a Philippine carrier, sir?
Yeah. Air Asia. On January 31.
We're validated kasi the flight details mo
To Shenzhen. No, she had companions. They were all well and even when she was, because she was admitted immediately on the day, nung dumating kasi sila, parang masama na yung pakiramdam niya, walang sakit yung kasama niya, yung mga naman siya, she stayed in her hotel room. And then the next day, she was admitted already and nung na-discharge siya, tsaka umuwi. So, yung kasama niya, walang mga sakit. Yeah, it means she had it before she left China.
But you don't know how many days?
No, we don't know.
Sir, may statement kasi kahapon si Secretary Lorenzo about the wife of a senior military officer who came from Hubei and was admitted sa Manila but she tested negative. I just wanted to ask if you have other Filipinos na kasi she might have had companions who are now under investigation.
I do not have the details of that particular case right now. I'm sorry.
Last question, Ms. Aiko.
Sir, you were given additional 2 billion pesos for the improvement. Kasama po ito sa priority na bigyan po yung departamentation and isolation test.
Yes, actually we're asking pa lang, it hasn't been given yet. It's going to be a supplementary budget. But this is really to prepare, most of it will be to prepare our hospitals to make sure that we have the supply of our protective personal equipment and yung mga sanitation needs natin for the hospitals to make sure that they are always decontaminated and clean. That's from the DBM ang maghahanap nun kung saan.
Do you have any days na kung ilan po yung isolation or decontamination tests?
I don't have that right now. Walang lagnat. Nakadaan siya sa... Remember, this is January 20, no? So, medyo open pa talaga. Ibig sabihin, wala pang ban ng flights from anywhere. And we had very limited information on the NCOV. And it was really tracking patients with fever. So, this patient had no fever when she passed through our airport.
What happened to the third case? Can we still say
Yes, because in this case, the January 24 sample was sent both to Australia and to RITM, and they were both negative. Tapos, tinitest, lahat ng mga test natin so far, yung mga positive, ano yan, correlated yan, pareho sa Australia at saka dito sa atin. So they are validated. This is a very well validated test.
Okay.
I don't think so. Separate yung separate building talaga siya. Walang mixing. Oo, walang mixing. Thank you,
Okay, thank you
everybody.
very much.